Greetings and salutations, everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm your host, once again, Dan Thornton. I want to thank you all for joining us here on Lions Talk Live. Hey, the weekend's about ready to kick off, but we've got some news out of Detroit. As you're probably all definitely aware, the Detroit Lions, like most of the NFL, are hosting their OTAs this week, and you get speculation about this, that, the other thing, commentary from people. Hey, you hear it called the Pajama Olympics, whatever you wanted to call it. It's not quite real football, but it is potentially the first real step towards the 2024 season getting underway. And as you can tell from the thumbnail within this video, something is shaking and baking, because if you watched the morning show earlier today, I did tell the listeners that I had some comments out of Detroit from media members that I trust that, hey, Mekhi Wingo looked pretty dang good yesterday. And you know what? Today, Mekhi Wingo looked pretty good today, even to the point where one of my buddies said this: he might have been one of the best players on the field. Now, again, these are unpadded. These aren't even preseason. This isn't even, a July, warm-ups and stuff like that. It is what it is. It's the OTAs, but what we can say right now is we all get Brad Holmes, the scouting department, everybody in between for the Detroit Lions has a track record of hitting on mid to late round picks. We get the first round picks, second round picks. Hey, those guys have all played pretty dang well overall. We also get that a lot of news out of the NFL scouting combine and the draft talked about Mekhi Wingo and saying, man, a lot of people were impressed that the Lions were able to get him and that late in the draft. So here's specifically what I'm being told, if I may. Wingo's first step and his rip-through moves are already at a higher than anticipated level. Direct quote. Wingo consistently shed through would-be blockers and got pressure on the quarterback, disrupted running plays, and proved over and over again, even against some of the more veteran backup offensive linemen, that he would be a problem for them to consistently block one-on-one. End quote. New quote. Wingo's first step, as I alluded to, was a problem for him. And over, Dan, I will say this. While it's not real football yet, it was clear that the coaching staff were paying more and more attention to Wingo. End quote. New quote. What I can say is this. I've watched, I got to edit this a little bit. They've watched football for a long time, and I can say this. The kid seems, at least at this point, pretty rare. End quote. So make of that as what you want. Take of it as you will. What we can say is, hey, Brad Holmes, Detroit Lions, you think about Ife Melifano. I get he's not a late round pick, but he's a mid round pick, and they seem to have knocked the cover off the ball with him, given a couple years for him to get healthy, etc. It seems that James Houston, even though he was injured last year, when he finally got on the real football field his rookie year, off the charts good. I don't think anybody could ask for much more. You're seeing more and more of these players emerge from the Detroit Lions, and what we all know is with Mekhi Wingo, he's got some of that burst that's tough to teach, tough to do. Yes, he probably fell in the draft a little bit, unfortunately, because of his arm length size, and we can say we've seen that before. You heard Aiden Hutchinson talk about it, that he was under the impression the Jacksonville Jaguars did not take him number one overall because of his hand size. And you hear Hutchinson talking about it. It doesn't seem to really be affecting him at the NFL level. Could it be that Mekhi Wingo could have gone higher, third round, fourth round, whatever it may be? Absolutely. But at least so far, and again, I do want to caution, it's on limited film, limited watch, all that stuff, and it's not real football yet. But it does seem like it's positive stuff. I can tell you this, anybody who's coached or played sports for a while, you got the young rookie coming in, and if they're showing you up day one, you're probably coming out day two wanting to put them on the ground. You're probably not wanting to allow that to continue to happen. And the quotes kind of refer to that a lot, especially today in day two, where, hey, he kept dusting people, kept beating people, and it was noticeable that people were becoming upset with it. Could Mekhi Wingo be the real McCoy? We're going to have to wait for probably July and the start of training camp and then preseason games to have more detailed information. But I will say this. The Duke Crew, the morning show, we've been talking about this for a while. And, could this guy be another John Randall or somebody like that? Absolutely. Could they play him more at defensive end than, defensive tackle? Totally possible. Does he give them flexibility, which we get this regime likes a ton of, where you have players that can play inside and outside? Absolutely. So what's going to happen with this kid? I don't know, but I would say this. For a couple days into OTA, what is clear is that the coaching staff is gaining a lot of attention towards him. All right, let's real quick go over and see what you guys have to say in the comments section. All right, Miles. Hey, what you doing sneaking on this time of day? Hey, the stock market's closed, so you know what? I told you guys this morning I would try to get on earlier, but I was kind of busy with showing some houses, doing some deals there, and then trading the markets earlier today. So, hey, you got to pick your due when you can get on and when you can't. All right, let's see. Mike the Marine, howdy, Dan. And yeah, hot do news. There you go. Hot do news it is, man. Hey, Gunny, I hope you're still healing up and doing okay, man. Bo, the 7 cents I see Super Bowl. You know what? I've got another video I'm going to do after this one, kind of about that, because Carlton Davis today did give some comments. Again, I was going to try to get on early today, just didn't work out for timing and stuff, but I'm going to try to do a few things this afternoon. All right, Miles, what do you got? Hey, Gunny, you having a good healing day? I hope. Yes, hope so too. One Funky, I mean, it's an underwear event. Yes, this is true. So let's at least pump the brakes until preseason, at least. Yeah, and that's what I was saying earlier. One Funky is just, it is what it is. It is not full speed by any means, but hey, there's at least some cautious optimism with what you're seeing so far. Most of the people that I rely on to get this kind of information over to me, or at least if they get it to me, I trust enough to say, hey, let's form an opinion on it. These guys have been through this before. They've seen the underwear Olympics, the preseason stuff, which is the OTAs. So they get, some guys are going to look good and then flame out, etc. But you know what? For this time of the year, find something to talk about and get enough of an eyebrow raise out of the coaching staff, plus the writers who are allowed to watch portions of the OTAs. Yeah, it's impressive that he has in multiple days stood out. All right, Mike the Marine, I forgot to give you my woo. I'm doing great. There you go. Thumbs up. Well, I'm glad to hear it, Gunny. Now, Margaret, woo. There you go. JDC, woo. Boo. Bo, excuse me. Woo. There you go. We got all the woos. You know what? Just for you guys, just because we got multiple woos in a row. Yep, never gets old. All right, Broski, how can you tell if a player, especially a defensive tackle, is good at what they do at OTAs? The answer is you can't tell. I would disagree with that somewhat there, Broski, just because if you coach for a while, it's just like putting kids, or players at any levels through different drills. And I don't care if it's volleyball, soccer, whatever. You can pick up on some things. There are some things he's flashing that other people can. Otherwise, they would just have, you or me out there out the streets and say, man, we look just as good. There is a reason why they go through OTAs. They need to start getting some in-depth analysis about strengths and weaknesses with any players. And that's true in any sports, whether it's preseason stuff, conditioning stuff, whatever. Coaching staff, players, whatever, they do get a sense for things. Now, from that sense, when we get to July and training camp, you're going to confirm one way or the other which way to take those thoughts. But I would say, yeah, that you're any kind of coaching staff, whether it's Salt or somebody who's been around covering for a while, you get an idea for some stuff for sure. All right, Rob, we got 2 problems. There we go. So we got 2 problems. Let's hope so, man. Let's hope so. If he's anything like James Houston was his rookie year, and I get Houston, let's remember the team cut him because they didn't think that highly of him. Could that have lit a fire on him? Could somebody have judged him? Absolutely. So we talk, sort of like Broski was talking about, how can you tell with stuff? Let's not forget, James Houston nearly wasn't here. And every team probably around the league said, man, we could have taken this guy when he got, let go by Detroit on his practice squad. So a lot of people missed the apparently incredibly obvious with him. So could it be that they get it wrong here too? Absolutely. Yeah, but hey, it's at least something noteworthy this time of year. All right, Paperback fan, let's flipping go. Yes, exclamation points. Brad, Holmes draft studs. Yes, he does. He finds some good stuff. Miles, love our coaches. They're sharp. Yeah, I mean, let's be very honest. They find talent where other people miss them. We just talked about James Houston. Obviously, everybody knows about Amon-Ra St. Brown. You look at a lot of different players on the Detroit Lions team. Ife Melifanu, Derek Barnes, or whatever, guys that were drafted in different spots that other teams could have acquired, they didn't for whatever reasons. And I'm not here to debate that, but they've coached them up to the level where a lot of these guys, yeah, they're looking pretty good. You could even argue Brian Branch. A lot of people in the league missed out on him, but it is what it is. Let's see, Broski, what do you got? James Houston has 9 games played in 2 seasons. Hey, injuries happen, man. I mean, he snapped an ankle, but what I can say, Broski, is you look at that rookie year, and he was at an NFL record pace, whatever it was, 7 games, and he had 8 sacks in 7 games. I don't know, man. You could be Debbie Downer on it, but there ain't many people in NFL history that have ever achieved that. I would say maybe 1% of the guys that have ever suited up and played on Sundays have ever achieved that. So while you're saying 9 games in 2 seasons, I can also say 8 sacks in 7 games. So there's that. All right, Mike the Rain, the new Wingo could be, and woo, we'll go with that. Broski, Wingo is the next John Randall? Question mark. Oh boy. That's crazy talk. It might be, man. It might be a little premature, but I guess what we can say from a comparison is, we all get John Randall was an undersized defensive tackle. It did not slow him down by any means, though. John Randall was a beast, is a beast, and when you talk about somebody undersized, that kind of build and stuff, they're going to draw comparisons. Like when Hutchinson came out, I thought he looked a ton like Bruce Smith. It just as far as his body structure or his mass is up on the shoulders, the type of interior waist, he reminded me a lot of Bruce Smith. All right, Rob, what do you got? Broski Brayer, he was a 6th-round pick who broke his leg early last season. Yeah, playing special teams, snapped an ankle. Yeah, so, I mean, I get it. That's partially why he only played a couple games last year. All right, Bo, I'm about to lock this stuff up. Very good. There you go. Lock it on up. Miles, I like talking about OTAs. It's the last of the totally Olympic times of the preseason. Yes, after this, man, next time we see these guys, it'll be real stuff. It'll be a training camp. Walt, woo! And good afternoon, Duke Crew. Don't forget to hit the like button. Yes, pretty pleased with Mountain Dew on top. Hit that like and subscribe button. I want to say we're like 7 subs away from hitting 6,700. Never would have thought the day would be here. Broski, Rob, that is funny. Hey, we like to have fun here, right? Everybody. Server, Wingo. There we go. Wingo it is. Bo, at the NFL, these guys know what they're looking at. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and that's why they do it. There are reasonings why they have the rookie symposium camp, the OTAs, all that stuff. They all play an accumulative role in the scheme of things. All right, Rob, if Wingo makes a good rotational player, he's easily worth a 6th-round pick. I would agree with that. And would I have a ton of, optimism about what he's going to do as a rookie? No, not at all. He's a 6th-round pick. Most rookies, whether they're 1st, 2nd, 3rd-round picks, most of them don't hit their stride until their 2nd or 3rd year. And if you look just at the Lions' current roster, we all get it. Most of these guys are starting to come into their own now. You even look at the first draft class, Penei Sewell and all of them, they're still young enough where they've got further upside. And that's kind of crazy to talk about. But Ife Melifanu should get better. Amon-Ra St. Brown should get better. Penei Sewell should get better. Derek Barnes should get better. You get it from there. All right, let's see. Broski, Dan, have a great Memorial Day weekend. Back at you, man. I hope you have a great one, man. Have a good one. Server, Mekhi is built like a brick and explosive. Glad we got him. 100%. He seems like if what we're getting out of Detroit is legit, he could potentially be something. It doesn't mean it's going to be this year, but maybe by year 2 or 3 or something like that. All right, JDC, you can tell if a player is going to be good by the woos he gets. Yes, that is a story in itself. Dr. Troy, what is going on with Wingo? So I don't know where you jumped in here, Dr. D, but here's what I can say. So a couple of people in the Detroit media reached out and gave me some, I guess you could say, thoughts and comments on it. And what I can say is it sounds like he's being a problem to block yesterday, today, etc. The coaching staff's taking notice. I'm trying to basically just paraphrase and summarize here. He's shut down a lot of running plays and gotten consistent pressure on the quarterback when being blocked. I get he's also facing some backup players on the offensive line. It is not padded. It's not full speed. I get all that stuff. But what I can say is he's doing enough out there in limited days where the coaching staff's taking notice of him. On top of that, obviously, so are some people in observance. All right, yada, yada. What up, though, Coach? Woo, woo! And back at you. Hopefully you have a great one. Day, I remember Houston chasing down Justin Fields in that rookie season, too. Yeah, he did from behind. I mean, Fields was out in front. I want to say that was Ford Field. Now that I remember it. Ford Field. Fields out in front, and Houston tracked them down from behind. Fields, an incredible athlete. I don't think anybody on planet Earth would dispute that. And to have somebody chase you down from behind, yeah, that says something. Okay, Brosi, so James Houston is legendary, and Wingo is the next John Randall. Got it. Take of it what you want, Broski. I'm saying that there are comparisons to be made with John Randall from a body structure and an explosive, first step, 3-step. Those are the comparisons. What he's going to do on the field, we're going to have to wait and see. What I can say about James Houston is if you can find 10 other dudes in NFL history that had 8 sacks in 7 games, see the list. I don't think there's going to be many people on that list. That's just me talking as a fan and as a reporter. What he did his rookie year is incredibly rare. Now, last year, was he out basically all but, a game and a half because of a broken ankle? Yeah. I mean, he won't be the last NFL player to ever break a bone. And he wasn't the first. It's going to happen. I can also say he is an incredibly rare athlete. Using the Bears as an example, Justin Fields is an incredible athlete. Justin Fields got tracked down by James Houston. The fastest hack quarterback got chased down by the 6th round pick. And it wasn't just once either. All right, Dunk Kong, Super Bowl or bust? Let's go with that. All right, Detroit, Dr. Detroit, Wingo is as good as Randall. No, nobody's saying that. We're saying the body structure is the same. He's a short, undersized player like Randall. That's it. That's all I'm saying. I could probably come up with other short, undersized defensive tackles and compare them to him too. That's all I'm saying. So, all right, both John Randall, Aaron Donald, too small. This is correct. People passed on both guys because of that. Mike K, a.k.a. Hutch Jr., if I remember right, Wingo was my call for a guy to be on the lookout for. You might have been right about that. Dave, what do you got? Optimistic? Yeah. Olympic. Yes, there we go. Surfer, what do you got? Hold on, boss. Hutch and Bruce Smith. Bruce was Bruce. If Hutch comes close to that, he's Hall of Fame. I would agree with that. Body-wise, hard to compare them since Smith was bigger, but who knows? Was he, though, man? Because, what I'm comparing, guys, just, I'm not comparing skill sets. So when I compare Wingo to Randall, I'm comparing their body types as far as how they're set up. When I compare Bruce Smith to Aiden Hutchinson, I'm comparing the body structure. Nothing more. So, that's what I can say about that. But I would say this, Aiden Hutchinson, Bruce Smith, somebody would have to look it up. Hutchinson's, I want to say, 6'7"? I don't recall offhand how tall Bruce Smith was. All right, Silver Surfer, Wingo, I believe, will contribute heavily this year. It could be, man. I'm just saying, hey, be cautious. It is OTAs, but see what happens come, year 2 or whatever. Maybe he supersedes expectations and does something this year. That I can't speak on. All right, Bo, Bruce Smith wasn't that big. Like Vaughn had the right combination of size. Yeah, Bruce Smith, man, he was a monster. He could just destroy offensive linemen. Sort of like Robert Porcher. Robert Porcher had a stretch 2-3 years where that dude, I think he was one of the best defensive ends that ever played for the Detroit Lions. And I won't say he was the best because I don't know. There's too many good ones that I can only sort of remember from the 70s. So I don't want to discredit anybody. Mike Kofer is still one of Mike Kofer, not that this has anything to do with anything, but he was still one of the best pass rushers I remember in Detroit. And kind of similar to, in some ways, to James Houston, but that dude had like 3% body fat, some of the biggest hands on planet Earth. I remember Ray Crockett put his hand up next to Michael Kofer's once for a photo, and Kofer's hands just engulfed Ray Crockett's hands. All right, sorry, Dave. It seems like the Lions' positional coaches do a great job of coaching up players, so Wingo shows signs of promise is encouraging. At the very least, but no one is ordering Wingo a gold jacket yet. No, man, no, that's not what the video is about or anything. So you're spot on with that, Dave. Keitho, who cares what Broski Bears says? It isn't even a fan of the Lions, and he thinks Caleb is better than Mahomes. He's a fan of the Bears, so hey, he's gonna of course think Caleb Williams is the next coming of Patrick Mahomes. So we'll see what shakes out. Server AG said the new Houston is better than the old. Let's hope so, man, because you know what? You guys all know if you watch this channel for more than probably 30 seconds, I have an opinion on James Houston, and I really personally hope he's the starting end opposite Hutchinson this year. All right, Johnny Mac, I was making a random comparison in the post-AM show comments. Hey, we think alike then. We think alike. Passionate and tenacious, by that word, yep. It should be fairly obvious by now that Broski Bear, he's a Bears fan, man. He's going to come in here and come after the Lions. It happens, man. I like Broski. All right, one funky. Bruce is roughly the same size. I am pretty sure he was like 6'5" and 265. Yeah, somebody would have to look it up. Somebody wants to look it up, put it in the comment section. But at least when I look at him, I see a ton of similarities. Just like when I looked at Wingo and watching his film, one of the people I compared him to as far as his style, his body structure, his mass was John Randall. This does not mean he is going to be John Randall. This does not mean Aiden Hutchinson is going to be Bruce Smith. I'm just making comparisons. All right, Moonscar, good afternoon, all. Back at you. Hopefully, I'm a great one. Mike the Marine, yes, I did block Broski. Won't change a Chicago fan's mindset, but I'm listening to Lions Talk Live. Woo! There you go. Well, enjoy the show, my friend. Bo, exactly right, Funky. There you go. Surfer, Wingo, even heavier than Randall, who put chains in his pocket to weigh 250 pounds in Minneapolis to not be cut. Of course, he gained weight later on, so got to 270. Wingo is already 285. That I did not know. All right, about the chains and everything. Hutch is 6'7", about 270 pounds. Yeah, he's a dude. He's a big dude. Let's see, Hutch Jr., what do you got? I think Terrell Williams will have a home run. Will be a home run hire from the Tennessee Titans. I think he's going to take this defensive line and open up a lot of eyes! Exclamation point. Dan Campbell said it was the best hire of the offseason. Might be, and I know a lot of the players are already making commentary about him, and seems to be pretty positive. So they've taken notice. One Funky Silver. Laughing out loud, I thought the Bruce comparison was too Hutch. Yes, Wingo is way thicker. Yeah, Bruce, I am comparing Hutchinson to Bruce Smith, not Wingo. So just to be specific on that. All right, Broski, stop lying. Keto, fair enough. Broski, fair enough. All right. Let's see. Day, what do you got there? Bruce Smith, 6'4", played around 265 pounds in his career. Yeah, and he was a monster, man. All right, just figured I'd get you guys something. Hey, I hope you guys have a good one. If there is some breaking news, I'll go ahead and get it out to you guys later today. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We're literally like 7-8 subs away from 6,700. If you can help out with that, that'd be great. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up. Give me a little bit of time, and then I'm going to have another video out today, maybe even one after that. But, hey, got a little time today, so I'm trying to get some of these stories out. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you all on the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.